3 years of President William Ruto in office, the state of security, the hits, the misses, the gains and the losses, what more needs to be fixed, and the entire Interior Ministry is here with us this evening. Let's start off straight with the questions. Who has the microphone? Kindly stand up, give your name and straight question to the panelists.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Zabin Bishara, a law student. My first question is, because the PS has mentioned that people are not turning up, why not offer money? We are Kenyans, and money is a motivation that could maybe one way or another do that. Number two.
No, one question, Abdi. Just one question. Thank you so much. We agreed on this. Okay. PS, why not offer money? You can delegate the question if.
I think maybe the question I could probably take it back and just ask, because this is about security, this is about the well-being of each and every one of us. If it becomes the responsibility of the state, in this particular instance, to be offering money, and you look at the amount of, or the number of criminalities across the country, first of all, there's a budget process for it. Are Kenyans willing to pay, to be paid, to be able to give information to the police? And I don't think we want to go that way. I think there is that moral conversation that we need to have as a country. And I like the response or the input from Kara CEO, that yes, there appears to be a trust deficit. And for me, it's a conversation that we must have. What are some of the issues that the citizens feel that maybe the police are not facilitative or supportive of? But throughout our Jukwaa la Usalama moving across the country, everybody is asking for police officers. Everybody is asking us to provide resources to give police officers vehicles. Everybody is saying the police officers need to be better remunerated. If there was a serious problem with policing, Kenyans will not be asking us for that. But probably, I think as a country, we just need to have this much broader conversation. As a government, we have a responsibility to do what we must do. As citizens as well, there is also that ownership so that we also become our brother's keeper. Okay. Yes. Thank
you very much. What's the next microphone? Yes, sir. If you have the microphone, what's the microphone next to you?
Dr. Kanga from NCCK. Question is, how is the ministry integrating youth-led or community-led intelligence and community engagement into national security strategy, especially in urban and rural areas, sports? Specifically, when we are operating after 3 years, we are saying we are bottom up. Okay. Apart from waiting from top up, and then you say to turn stones, then you turn kokoto. How are you going to, how have you integrated us and these youths to become part and parcel to help in your security? Measurable things.
Thank you so much. Waziri?
I think that's a very good question to Mishi. I think that Jukwaa la Usalama, to start with, is an initiative that is supporting the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. That is why we are engaging citizens at the grassroots level. We've done already 39 counties and about 8 counties to go. And throughout these Jukwaa la Usalama sessions, we've had very robust feedback from the citizens, and we've even resolved certain problems in place. During also this Jukwaa la Usalama, we agreed on certain policy directives that are helping bottom-up engagement, especially for young people. One, we've said that at the sub-county level, the sub-county security committee must incorporate the leadership of border, because we've realized border is a very important sector security-wise across the country. So they must incorporate leadership of border to their security meeting. They have very useful intelligence. They operate day and night, and they enter places that rarely many people go. We've also said student leaders must be invited to sub-county security committee meetings. Why? Because these are new. Most of them are new to the locality. and you have a population of 10,000, like Sigalagala, it was about 15,000. If you go to Kitale Technical, it was about 12,000. If you go to many other places, new universities that have been established and colleges create new populations in rural areas, and therefore it's important to incorporate them in the security architecture at the sub-county level. So I said we agreed that they should sit in the sub-county security committee, and that the dean of students and the leadership of the university should also be part of the sub-county security team. Okay. And let me tell you this, because I have now sat with OCSs from OCSs and chiefs and assistant chiefs and community leaders for 39 counties. To be honest, there is great good relationship in many areas between police officers and police station, the community. In fact, it's the community leaders that keep insisting, in this police station, we want you to get rid of the drunkards here, we need vehicles here, we need better structure here. We have been working with our OCS. It's only in very few instances and very few police stations that we realize, and it comes out in the security problems in that place. The moment you realize there's a security problem in a particular area, there is a poor relationship between the OCS and the security leadership at the local level and the community. But in many places, it is the residents who go out of the way. And even in some places, they are the ones who take maziwa to the OCS. They sometimes even changa fuel when the 450 allocation we give per month is over, because they support and they believe in their security place. So I don't think that it is true that Kenyans don't like police or they don't have good working relations with the police officers. To the contrary, it is actually largely supported by the communities, and where they have worked together, it's fantastic.
Yeah. IG Waziri says that there is a good relationship with the police. However, an IJM report indicated that 4 out of 10 people have had a bad experience with the police officers. 70% of them have reported that there is issues in the police service, one of them being corruption. How do you restore trust when the people themselves have complaints against your men in uniform and women?
Okay, thank you very much, Trevor. Let me start by saying, first of all, security, despite the fact that the government provides the primary, security, but I must also hasten to say that security is a shared responsibility between the people and the security providers. And, as has been explained there earlier by the CS, this is also provided through the multi-agency spectrum. So what is happening is that the security sector engages the community through community partnership, so that you can also be able to benefit directly from the community, and the community can also benefit straight from the policing services. And that is why even Wasiri has said it, that in most of the areas that we have visited in Jukwara Usalama forums, it is actually the community who actually supports and engages the police officers. There are few instances where there are some challenges, and those are some of the administrative challenges that we are dealing with. But we have, in fact, myself as the Inspector General, I have received calls from throughout the Republic, people requesting that their home station be provided with the transport, because that is an area they see as it is impacting negatively in the provision security services. So a clear indication that the local people, the community themselves, are willing and partnering actually to work with the police. That is why they go ahead and speak on behalf of the local police. So this issue of deficit in terms of trust between the community and the police, yes, it is there, and this is something that we are continuously working on. Trevor, I want to say this. In our strategic plan, for example, automation is the main thing, whereby we want to move in that direction so that we can be able to engage the public more by digitizing our services, so that we ensure that more people can be able to access our services in a manner that is easy, efficient, and effective, and also where we also reduce unnecessary interactions, so that we can be able to enhance in that particular direction.
There's a lady here with the question. Let's give it to one of the ladies who have the microphone. Let me see. Yes, there. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Victoria Danu. My question is on the technology, the CCTV footage. How will the government fund it, and how are we going to ensure the digital records are not tampered with and they are well maintained?
Okay. PS or Waziri, you can pass it across the both of you.
Pass it to Waziri.
I think that first, that's a very good question. Kenyans are always very concerned about promises that are not accompanied by a budget. And so, as I said in this show, it's an area that, as you know, His Excellency the President really is pushing for digitization of services. There was already an IC3, the communication system that had been established in Nairobi that really helped to deal with crime in Nairobi and Mombasa. And the contract ended somewhere in 2019, if I'm not wrong, in 2019. And so a part of the directives that were given under the leadership of the President by the Security Council is to now think through the best ways of financing a more robust security surveillance system that covers the entire country. And that conversation is in very advanced stage. We should be able to give directions to the country in another 2-3 weeks, and then source the resources within the budget and other mechanisms innovatively, like we've done in other areas, in roads, in sports, and other places, so that we can finance our security. One of the things that has impacted negatively in our security is the failure to historically invest, so that when you sit down here, you see some of the things that Kenyans are asking are things that we should have done in 2010, about 15, 20 years ago. Now the pressure is on one administration to do everything in a very short time, and we must continue thinking innovatively on how to finance. And I appreciate, Danu, your question that you are concerned about financing, so that then our promises are accompanied by the resources that we are giving.
All right. Another question. If you have the microphone, go ahead. Yes.
My name is Bill. My question is directed to Mr. Kanja. So, as enforcers of the law, you are expected to comply with court orders, and this is in relation to the High Court order that barred use of masks and plainclothes police. So can you promise us today that we will never see that happening?
All right. IG?
Okay, thank you very much, Trevor. And that's to me, that's a very, very good question and a positive one. Let me start by saying this, that number one, when I took over as the Inspector General, I made a promise that we are going to operate within the frameworks of the law. And it is true that we have a huge service, a service that consists of over 100 police officers distributed throughout the Republic of Kenya, providing security. So what I'm trying to say is that we follow the law, we follow the directives that we issue from time to time. We might find a case or two. These cases, we deal with them because there are various mechanisms that are provided for by the law, by the regulations, on how you can be able to deal with those who breaks the law, those who don't operate within the frameworks of the law. So I want to assure you that this is a service that obeys the law. Thank you very much, Trevor.
Let's pass the microphone to the DCI boss.
I think it deserves a more explanation on that question.
Yeah.
I think his concern was deployment of police officers who are not in either uniform or they're wearing masks. Let me tell you, that order is subject to interpretation, because we will not allow our police officers to put their lives in danger by wearing uniform when they're not supposed to wear uniform. The police officers, many people think about police officers only because of protests. Police officers are dealing with Al-Shabaab in border counties. They dress the way they should to camouflage, to protect themselves, and to protect the citizens of Kenya. Police officers are also not just the police officers you see in uniform on the streets. Police officers include DCI. All the DCI have no uniform, because there's work they should do. They should be able to enter certain places as they do investigation.
But Waziri, the question is specific on protests.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are they supposed to wear masks on protests? And the court had said that they shouldn't.
It is important to appreciate that even in protests, the police officers who are DCI have no uniform to wear. So they are automatically in plain clothes. because there's no uniform for DCI. And yet they are deployed inside Wananchi to protect Wananchi.
But should they also be masked?
Well, if it is necessary for them to be masked to protect themselves, it will be necessary. But in this, no, let's face it. If it is important, because I see citizens who are masking themselves in protest to protect their identity.
But the court ordered that they shouldn't.
No, the court, and others are saying, this court order is subject to interpretation.
And what is your interpretation?
My interpretation is that what the courts wanted to protect, because you have to look at what is the end results. They wanted to ensure that any police officer who will commit excesses, shoot somebody, or they hurt someone, beat someone, must be able to be apprehended. And there are other ways of doing that without putting the life of the police in danger. And even in cases where police officers have worn uniform, it has not stopped cases of excesses. So the excesses can be separated from the operational procedure of the police officer. That for sure, because but Waziri, you need to ask yourself, Trevor.
You're a Ministry of Law and Order, Waziri. The court says do not wear masks. Then why are you interpreting this? Why not just don't wear masks like the court has said?
All legal decisions are subject to the interpretation.
But your interpretation is inadvertently saying that they shouldn't wear, they should wear the masks, which is directly contrary to what the court has said.
It is the circumstance that matters. For example, that order says police officer deployed on the front of protests and blah 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 should be able to be identifiable, to be seen, and should never conceal themselves, including or should not wear a uniform and so forth. Let me ask you now, Trevor. Should now DCI, which uniform should DCI wear?
You tell me, you're the one running the ministry.
Then you are the, because you are the...
and the DCI boss is here, can pass the microphone to him as well.
If it is not subject to interpretation, then we would have said, oh yeah, okay, so DCI then should not be deployed. So the point is that it is subject to interpretation because when the courts say don't deploy certain police officers and DCI is being deployed and they don't have uniform unless they have uniform, you have to come and now sit down and ask yourself, what do they mean?
So is that a confirmation, Waziri, that the masked men were actually police officers?
I don't know about the masked men. I don't know any mask, because I saw many citizens who were protesting and they were wearing masks. And I don't think they were police officers.
Let's pass the microphone to DCI boss and have his say on this. And where's the microphone behind you there? Just pass the microphone to the DCI boss so that we hear what he has to say. Yes, the microphone is right there. DCI boss Amin Mohammed is also with us here. Mohammed, were those your people wearing masks?
No, wearing uniform first. I think wearing uniform first.
I think the CS has very, very well explained.
Yeah, go ahead.
The role of the DCI in situations of riots. First and foremost, DCI officers are police officers. The only difference between a uniformed police officer and a DCI officer is that the uniformed officer is wearing uniform and a DCI officer is operating in civics. But we all have a duty and responsibility to make sure that life and property is safeguarded. Secondly, Trevor, while I'm still on the mic, one of the participants alluded to the fact that they requested for financial inducements. As DCI officers, as officers of the National Police Service, we have partnered and we have forged a very good working relationship with the members of the public. We have our Fichua kwa DCI platform, and we receive lots and lots of information from the members of the public. So sharing information with the law enforcement officers, in my view, is a civic responsibility. It is a moral responsibility. I will not even share to say it is a religious responsibility. Why would you see somebody being murdered in front of you and you fail to share that information with the law enforcement officers? So my appeal is for the members of the public, please, wherever you come across any incident, any crime being perpetrated, please feel free, because you are part and parcel of our national policy.
All right.
There were some issues, Trevor, on the aspect of the CCTVs. Yes, the CCTVs they aid us in our investigations. But that is not the only tool that we use in our investigations. we have several investigation techniques and methodologies. So somebody should not feel that because there's no CCTV, then we will not be able to kill a case. We have had instances where we have arrested people, they go enter houses, and the first act they do is to break the CCTV cameras. But we end up arresting them. So CCTV is just an aid in our investigations, and not necessarily that because there's an absence of CCTV, then we are not able to apprehend those culprits.
All right. Let's get another question from a lady, please. Let's be gender sensitive, tafadhali. Let's just get a question from one of the ladies, okay. Tafadhali. Let's be gender sensitive, tafadhali. Let's get one of the ladies. I can tell from here that you're not a lady, but we can discuss that. Yes, madam.
Good evening.
Yes.
My name is Mogesi Maroa. I serve in the USPAC Secretariat. Allow me to begin by thanking the Ministry of Interior for the Jukwaa la Wanafunzi, which has really been incredible. Well, my question is on banditry. We all know that it's a threat to national security. When as CS, I think last week you were in Kuria in Migori County, and banditry and cattle rustling, this has been a problem that has been persistent over the years. Now we've had promises from governments year in, year out, and it's not going down because teachers are flying, teachers are going away from classes are empty. So my question is, what is the ministry doing? What are the measures that the ministry is taking so that it can curb this problem of banditry and cattle rustling in Kuria? Thank you.
Waziri.
First, admittedly, we have a challenge at the border of Kuria and, of Migori and Narok County. But let me start by saying that this administration came to office when all over the country was burning, particularly North Rift and Kerio Valley, because of banditry. And we were losing lives every day. And because of the investment that PS alluded to earlier in terms of modernization of equipment, multi-agency operational groups, including the Operation Malisa Walivu in North Rift, you can see what has happened. And it has demonstrated that with goodwill and partnership with the community, you can stop banditry, especially where lethal weapons were being used. I mean, by the time we are going to elections, Baringo was burning. My own home, Elgeyo Marakwet, was burning. West Pokot was the same with Turkana, and then Samburu. And as we speak now, there's a very interesting phenomenon happening in North Rift, particularly between Marakwets and Pokots, where, as a result of Operation Malisa Walivu, hardcore criminals are returning their guns. 2 days ago, yesterday, about 5 of them, today, about 7. Just people walking, people who had actually terrorized the community are returning their guns directly because of the persistent operation that was done by the police. And I agree with Mr. Ocheng from Kara that when the citizens see that police are determined to apprehend criminals, the level of support goes higher. And it is because of the community support also that we received in the Operation Malisa Walivu that you can see now criminals are coming and handing over their guns directly. Schools have been opened, including the school where, unfortunately, our CDF lost his life between the Pokot and Marakwet side. People are back to farms. Irrigation projects are back. Schools, children are back to school. And economic activities, markets have been opened that had been closed for years since before we were elected. So we are, if there is a sector that this administration must be appreciated for, is the significant work that has been done to deal with banditry. And the lessons that are learned so far is to complete areas that we think we still have challenges, especially in Samburu, areas of Sarolipi, Mukokodo Forest, the places of Isiolo and the border to Meru, where most of these criminals use these very rugged areas. And as you saw being reported in the news, the Security Council the other day directed us setting aside of 1 billion shillings to construct access roads to these very closed areas. And then there will be water projects, and the other schools that have remained will be completed, and building of more police stations. I tell you, we are going to register one of the most significant successes in banditry. We have an issue in Narok, particularly because I came from Jukwaa la Usalama in Migori this week, and we have agreed on how to undertake the operation in that area. What is compounding this problem in that area is that it is an area that generally people believe that it doesn't have guns. But intelligence reports indicate that there are a good number of guns in that area. Some are being brought from across the border, and they are being used to terrorize citizens in that area. The Inspector General of Police is putting in place an operational team. In the next 1 or 2 months, you will start getting the kind of success we got from the other area. We are also revamping our engagement with the chiefs, the meetings we had with the chiefs and the administration to talk to the people. And we are requesting the leaders, particularly Honorable Sunguli, Honorable Joanna Ngeno, and Honorable Kitayama, and Honorable Robi, to come together and be in the forefront, because part of the problems we have in that particular corner is political incitement, because people are not just stealing livestock, they are fighting over land. And that's why we have a problem in Nangata, Paragoy, and other places. We want to see leaders. Part of the success we have had in North Rift is because the leaders reached a stage where they said enough is enough. We are not going to defend our community, we are going to fight banditry. So I thought I should give a bit more context in that answer, and agreeing with her, we are going to, there is a promise to work on that issue within the next month or two.
Before I take a break, PS, is there a general cost to all this? What is the cost of dealing with banditry?
Definitely, there's a big cost to it. First of all, working in a multi-agency framework, so you have the KDF coming in to support. You have our intelligence, you have the DCI, you have the police, and you have so many officers in operation area. If you look at even some of the equipment, the vehicles that are being used, there has been a huge investment that this administration has put in to be able to support and facilitate our officers. And then, of course, the engagement with the communities. Away from pacifying these areas, there is also the investment in terms of rebuilding of schools, the infrastructure that the CS has talked about, the roads, supply of water, and also for those who are able to move into other forms of entrepreneurship, whether it is agriculture, so that then we don't limit people to just keeping livestock, but also taking kids back to school. You'll be surprised that most of these bandits are pretty young boys who have stopped going to school. Now, when the schools are open and you're able to get them back to school, it means that you take away the allure for young boys to go out there. But beyond that, it's also to punish and make it very painful for some of these characters. That is why you find now some of these hardcore criminals easily come out, because they know that the noose is tightening around them. And the support from the leadership and the communities, just like the CSR said, has been very instrumental in getting us to where we are. Okay. And when you think about it, even beyond banditry, when you think about it even in terms of terrorism, we are opening up Northeastern, the roads, because for a very long time, parts of this country, people have felt that they do not belong, simply because of skewed development that has happened over the years. This administration has been very bold to open up literally every corner of this country. And just when you think about it from a bottom-up philosophy, the local mwananchi, when you go to markets that for a very long time women could not go to, and now you have stories of women in markets, the fresh produce are able to get into markets because the roads have been opened. Definitely, there's been serious investment, and that is a courtesy of just the stewardship of the president, but also Kenyans contributing, because the bulk of this money belongs to Kenyans themselves.
Okay. All right, let's take one more question before I take a break. We have really pressed for time. Yes, you have the microphone. Go. We are coming to this side. Relax. The entire ministry is here, so relax.
My name is Francisco Miller, Interfaith Youth, and my question revolves around the aspect of mental health and wellness. So my question is, what steps are being taken to address harmful ideologies and practices in the police force, and maybe how the officers are being trained to respond to mental health crisis without resorting to excessive force?
Okay.
Thank you.
Say your name again?
Francisco.
Francisco.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I think that, so that IG can add, I'll just be very brief. There is a shift in the National Police Service from looking at police officers, all cases that they go through, particularly mental health, as disciplinary issues. In the past, if you became addicted to alcohol, you were just dismissed from service. Now that has shifted. You are taken to rehabilitation. There is a big issue insofar as operational procedures, and I think IG can add that there is always a debrief when police officers are sent to serious operational areas. There is a process of debrief. I see also greater investment now on counselors, and I believe in the next recruitment, counselors will be part and parcel of the people being recruited, because even in the Jukwaa la Usalama there is a demand, not just for the police, there's also demand from GAO officers that we need more counselors stationed at the sub-county level so that they can reach out to many people, because this is an area that people are operating in very difficult circumstances, facing challenges like banditry, terrorism, and so many other things, dealing with murders, counseling, GBVs, and so forth. So mental health is the new shift from National Police Service, from the past where people are just saying this person is like this and he should be dismissed from service or be ignored. In fact, in the meeting that we had with the OCSs, I reminded them that by failing to deal with the officer within your station, to deal with their mental health within your station, you are actually putting your life in danger, because this person has a gun. And if they are not of proper mental stability, they can shoot anybody on sight, including the OCS. And that is the reason, that explains the reason why a number of cases are happening to officers' families, officers within themselves, within the station, and so forth. Okay. And IG maybe can add something. IG, yes, very briefly.
Thank you very much, Trevor. And I want to also thank my CS for that very, very elaborate information. Let me start by saying that in the National Policing Service, like any other employment, there are hazards, job hazards actually. And in the policing sector, because of the demands of those services, you find that the level of stress is a little bit high. This is something that we have run with time, as the CS has indicated, because there before, we used to think that this officer is now drinking because he has gone in that direction. And in most cases, we could take disciplinary actions, which would end up by terminating the services of that very, very officer, as opposed to assisting and supporting him so that he can be able actually to recover. So this time around, you find that now we have got better understanding because we are working together with others. Trevor, I want to say that within the National Police Service, each and every service, that is the Kenya Police Service, the Administration Police Service, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, we have directorates that deals with the mental issues. Counseling directorates are there so that all the officers who have got issues, and there are several, okay, they can actually be assisted, because we realize that this is a problem. Yeah. This is something that can be treated and still get back the officer into active duties. Okay. We are also working, Trevor, together with others out there. For example, with the Disability Mainstreaming Foundation, yeah, we are also working with the African International University so that it can actually be able to assist us in many supportive roles. Okay. Yes.
All right, I'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pose the questions. We'll take the questions from the audience still. I know there's quite a number on this side, so we'll pass the microphone this other side. And then the members of the Border Society also here with us. We'll give you a chance to ask the questions as well. Right after this break, the entire Ministry of Interior is here with us. So we'll take all the questions from you, ask them as many as you can, really quick, so that we get all the reactions. All right, see you in just a bit.